stole my story.
Well, you guys already know how this is going to end, but we're recording this during election night, and I'm very anxious. And we're sitting here recording this like a bunch of Muppets.
Hey, what the heck?
I don't think we're Muppets.
And Kentucky
You guys
just
who are
came in.
listening, know who the president is, and we don't.
Yeah, that's
Like,
fucked
we're
up.
so left out of this whole
I
thing.
plan on uploading it tomorrow, so they might not know whom the president is.
That's true. Sometimes it takes weeks for them to know.
Yeah.
Well, this
Especially
one,
if someone tries to steal.
I think there's going to be a lot of stealing this election. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yep.
Who's stealing? Hey, that's up to you guys to decide. Leave it in the
stole
comments.
my election.
I think the egg napper.
Yeah. What?
The egg napper.
What the hell does that mean?
Well, he steals all sorts of crap.
Oh, true.
Like, mostly eggs, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the egg napper, is he Arab?
Why'd you have to whisper it?
Well, I just don't want to be offensive.
Didn't want to alarm the bystanders.
Let me see. Let me get a picture of the egg napper.
I don't interpret his dress to be Arab. I don't interpret
I'm
it to be Middle
sorry.
East.
I have a problem.
Because you think the head...
No, I thought egg napper was the name of the creature in Spyro.
That's what I thought you were referring to.
Okay, well, that's good.
Like, do
Egg
you think
nappers
he's wearing
are
a niqab?
Yeah. Something like that.
Do you think he's a woman in a niqab?
Oh, I think so.
He's a Muslim woman. the egg
Jamie,
napper.
throw up a picture.
Of the egg napper from Spyro.
Jamie, do you know what a niqab is?
You're talking about an egg napper from Land Before Time.
No, I wasn't talking about that. But what I'm saying, what I'm finding out now on my phone is that those guys are called egg nappers.
Yeah.
I don't know what the guy from Spyro is called.
And they're British.
Oh, yeah, they are. Pompous
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. And they sing songs that I don't care to hear.
That's true.
About delicious twigs.
Oh, my
Wait, let me
God.
let me look at what is it? Are you guys talking about egg napper?
Egg thief.
Egg
from
thief
Spyro.
From Spyro is what he was referring to.
Yeah, here's an
Is that what
image.
you're referring to?
Yeah. I mean, it's ambiguous.
All
I
right.
think he's a mummy, maybe.
Oh, he's a mummy.
You guys thought this character was Arab? That's racist.
I did not think he was Arab.
Why did you think he was Arab?
Anytime he sees anyone that looks remotely like they have a turban on their head. One time he saw a Sikh man and he asked me if he was Arab.
I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, he was walking outside of a
I think you're just.
postal
I
service.
think you're amalgamizing all of your like ignorant experiences with other people.
Ian, is this going on YouTube or Patreon?
This is YouTube.
Oh man, I know you're not gonna do it, but you know how one time you made a thumbnail and title it said Minecraft Steve is black because we like talked about that.
Mhm.
I dare you to put egg napper as an Arab.
I think that would be sick.
That's
Please
not
do
gonna.
that.
That's not gonna fucking fly.
What?
Yeah, it's
Why not?
Well,
you get my pass.
honestly, if it was a more boring topic and we, hadn't missed some time,
Okay.
I would. But we're talking election today.
It'd be funny if the election episode is just about that. We just don't even talk about it.
Yeah. I have thoughts. I have a lot of thoughts
About
on
the egg napper?
thief.
Oh, the
egg
egg
thief. Kind of the only thing on our minds right now is the election because it is November 5th.
Yep.
And I've been scrolling through TikTok lives, and that has been thoroughly enjoyable. I think I might even make a video about it because it's so insane.
Yeah.
Just random people, just fucking nobodies in the middle of nowhere, recording their fucking computer monitors with that one website. They're all using the same website. I don't know what it's called, but they're just saying like 96 Trump in Florida, 4% Kamala, and they just do that for every single state, and then they reset once they've reached the end.
You know they're saying Kamala too.
Yeah, true.
4% Kamala.
Yeah. Oh, and there's a lot of people playing with the idea that like they're trying to be the what do you call it? Like the unbiased reporter.
Yeah.
So there's this woman who had a big Kamala, or I should say Kamala flag behind her.
Yeah.
And a big Trump flag behind her.
Oh, impartial.
Yes. And she's just sitting there like grooving the whole time. Like she's like playing Tupac and shit. And she's just sitting there grooving and she's saying, we don't name anybody. We just put the red hearts or the blue hearts down in the chat.
Do you know what that kind of reminds me of? It reminds me of the lives where it's like just the really like racist, culturally insensitive, like one guy's dressed up as what he thinks a Palestinian is, and then the other person's dressed up as what they think an Israeli is, and then they have
the flags in the background.
Yeah, and they're like dancing and they're like, vote for me, vote for me.
She's trying to hijack that idea because there's a lot of fucking dumb people on TikTok. I don't get what it is exactly, because I genuinely think that TikTok is a better platform in a lot of ways.
It depends what circle.
But then you go into the lives and you're like, we're fucking stupid.
No, yeah. It depends what circle you're running in. Even when there's this one live that I was getting a lot of this man who was an amputee from I don't know what country.
Jesus.
I don't know what country he's from, but he's definitely not from Palestine. And he had like this big industrial light shining on him, and he rubbed like talc powder or some sort of like white dust on him, and then lied in some like stones that he had arranged, and he's just like shaking with sad music playing. Like,
yeah, honestly,
so fucked.
Yeah, not being aware of like what to look for exactly, I was fucking scarred when I saw that. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, how did he got the live set up? And he's
in the rubble.
And he's in the rubble. This is fucked up.
It's so fucked up. There's any country where they're like, yeah, I look vaguely like Arab, possibly, and I am an amputee. Time to get my bread. I've seen a couple of them, but that guy was a really honest.
That's kind of insane to think. I wasn't really like thinking like how you could justify that to yourself.
Yeah.
But you know, grifter's gonna grift wherever you're at.
It's partially
Peter Griffin's gonna griff.
Well, for me, the way
sorry guys, I just need to say that.
The way that I see it is like there's definitely a bunch of people from different countries that are like, fuck Americans, they're so fucking stupid. Oh yeah. And I'm gonna like
get a bag.
Yeah, get a bag.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, I do find it I just want to clarify, I do find it extremely fucked up.
Yeah.
Pose as
a person of a war-torn country actively getting genocided.
Yeah, yes, I think it's a fucked up thing to do. But as someone who understands, like, for me, it's very obvious. But to a lot of people, obviously, it wouldn't be.
Me included.
Yeah, so like that's what TikTok has to offer.
Yeah,
you know, is like these pitfalls, basically.
And I've seen that. I've seen other people from other countries as well doing election coverage, just because it's like, why the hell not? Like, if you can set up some weird scenario. Oh, there's this other one. There's this guy. Okay, so they have these interactive maps. They've had them for a while now, where you can kind of play out by yourself at home to see how the election could theoretically go. Make a state red, make a state blue. This guy, and I'm going to be honest, I was playing along for a while there. I forgot that I was like, you know, trying to do research or video.
Yeah.
And he was like, he's essentially doing like a horse racing like thing.
Oh.
But like for you to like play or participate, you type like Texas blue in the chat.
Oh.
So whatever, and then he'll click it and make it blue. And like whatever it comes out as after like 5 minutes of people naming states and their color, he'll do it and be like, that's another victory for Trump. And then he'll put it on his tally board. And it's like 136 wins for Trump.
Gamifying the Electoral College is a type of dystopia I didn't know that I would enjoy.
Well, I mean, he's not gamifying the Electoral College.
He's gamifying it.
He's just gamifying something else. Well, it's like, that makes it sound advanced and smart.
I mean,
what he's doing is he's just telling people to name states and colors.
But it's kind of cool because, like, you get to see
how it plays out.
I mean, it's
with
gamifying
the fucking people in his chat.
Yeah, I think it's fun.
Yeah, I mean, I had fun with it.
You were enthralled.
I was enthralled.
Dane, how's it been for you? Have you been watching any coverage of the election?
You know what? Like 2 hours ago, I was like, "Oh yeah, it's election day." I went on YouTube. I just typed in like U.S. election 2024.
Yeah.
And I just clicked on the first live stream, and I literally I watched it for like literally 5 seconds before I was like, this is boring. I turned it off. Because it was just some white guy fucking talking. He was just like,
I know.
yeah, and I was just like, I don't care.
It's always
tell
just
me
some
who
white
wins
guy
or who
talking.
loses. I don't care like so much about the like nitty gritty that all of the 24-hour news cycle live streams are doing. So it's hard for me to like tune in until they have like when a state has been won or whatever. Like they just don't have any of that right now. So
Here's the thing. I have a major problem with like, I don't know if it's because my dad and brother like infected my brain with like fantasy sports and shit, but like hearing them talk about like, oh, we can compare like early votes and like what the point swing was at this time in this like state, in this, you know, county or whatever, and like this is similar in demographic to this one in this swing state, and I'm like, oh yeah, like I don't know, I get so fucking into it. So I've been, when I was doing my makeup for this, I had Hassan's stream on. I was just fucking like sitting there listening to it. It has like he has some fucking guy on there talking, Josh or John or some white guy. He's talking about it. He knows what he's talking about. Yeah. But it was interesting because I couldn't get off of it. I was glued to it even before we started hitting the and Hassan's at like 220,000.
No, same fucking viewership as NBC when I clicked on YouTube. I was like, all right then.
And bro's got no shirt on and he's just flexing constantly.
He's got no shirt on?
Well, he's got a tank top on.
Oh, okay.
But
so he has a shirt on.
Yeah, but he has the money makers out.
Well, that's why he has that viewership.
Yeah, that's
the moneymakers are the arms. Okay.
But yeah, for men, definitely.
Glamour muscles.
But he's been flexing for gifted subs.
Oh,
nice. What is his moneymaker for women?
Moneymaker for women would be their ass.
Really?
I think. Okay. That's my moneymaker.
No, tits.
Shake your moneymaker?
No.
That's your ass.
I'm saying what's the moneymaker? Like, because you're saying that moneymaker for a man. Men appreciate the biceps. They're like, yeah, nice work in the gym, bro. I like that. Show me more. But women don't maybe care about that so much. So I'm saying, what's the thing that women want to see more on men?
1,000,000% the sex lines. What are those called? There's a name for them. There's a scientific name for them that at one point in my schooling I would know.
The crags of your abs.
Yeah, the sex
the
lines.
Ab crags.
Yeah, okay. Like lifting up the shirt and having the sex lines. That's the moneymaker for women.
I'm going to show the audience.
Woo! Wait, don't show them your shaft.
Yeah,
what are
don't
you
show
doing?
too much of your pubes.
Anyway, these right here.
Yeah.
If you can imagine.
Yeah, and the harder they are of a line, the hotter it is.
The more elite.
Yeah. That's what I would say.
That's all you should focus on in the gym. Just make sure those are there. True. Nothing else.
Yeah. You could have everything else. No. I mean, it needs to be accent. But for some reason, there's something about like the shirt lift and the like crag. You called it a crag?
Yeah. I said ab crags. I was messaging people on TikTok during their lives, and I was saying, what did I say? I was like, would you change your mind on voting for Trump if you had a...
Sorry.
I said, would you change your mind on voting for Trump if he had a big python in his pants?
Are you talking about like a big cock or just a literal
yeah,
snake?
Big cock. Everyone ignored it, though. No one answered.
No one answered?
Yeah.
Dane, do you think it would change you?
No. I don't care what size the president's dick is.
It's funny because there's definitely people out there that do.
Be like, all right, well,
who do care?
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
They definitely would care. They would like use it as like a talking point.
Yeah,
right. They think that it gives them some sort of power.
Like I can imagine Jesse Waters after saying like you're a woman, you turn into a woman if you vote for Kamala. I could imagine him also valuing
trying to claim Trump's big cock for themselves.
Yes, yeah, like it's like a like
big cocks vote for big cocks.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll tell you who doesn't have a big cock, to our knowledge. Kamala.
Oh, that's true. To our knowledge.
To our knowledge.
Respect either way.
Does she have big tits? That might be important.
I might ask some people that if they're willing to vote for Kamala if they find out she's got
Big
sloppers.
Fucking God. This is not... We're feminists here. We don't talk about our possible future president that way.
But that's a good idea for a TikTok live stream, though. Maybe I'll do that after the podcast is over, where I have like Trump over on one side, Kamala on the
python.
other. Yeah.
But
well, it's all implied
of a python.
Of a python.
And then on
picture of like a gross like
Kamala's side.
What's a slob?
Kamala. Fuck.
Yeah,
You keep
I know.
saying
It's hard. It's hard.
It's
legitimately.
You. Okay. Kamala's side, there's
what's a slopper? A couple of cannons.
Big those big boomers from
Mill tank. Just mill tank.
Oh, I was thinking the boomers from that one
Left 4 Dead?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Those feel like sloppers.
Yeah, those are sloppers, I agree.
Maybe some sludge belchers?
Yeah, we could do
Those
that.
are some sloppers.
Yeah,
Sludge belchers.
Do you know, Dane? Do you know what a sludge belcher is?
I mean, no. What is that?
You should Google it. Google sludge belcher card.
Oh, no, this is... Oh, yeah, you should Google blue waffle, too.
No. This is... I was actually...
Sludge belcher is safe for work.
Fun fact, there was a YouTuber that really hated me and Ian
it's a card.
a long time ago, and he said that I looked like a sludge belcher.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
just so... That's like too ridiculous to even take seriously.
I held on to that for a long time.
I know, but like... isn't it more insulting the more accurate someone is? Like, but that is just so like out of like left field. Like one time, my ex-girlfriend one time she got mad because somebody told her she looked like the kid from from Mask, I think it's called not The Mask with Jim Carrey.
Oh,
but like that like crazy looking kid from Mask, the '90s movie. And she like cried over that, and I was just like, "That is just such a ridiculous. Like, it's just so,
you know what it is?
Ridiculous that it doesn't even make any sense. Like, you literally look nothing like that person. They just thought of the ugliest thing they could think of.
I see what you're talking about. Yeah, that is like just a traditionally like ugly character to mention.
Here's the
thing,
like
saying you look like Gollum or something. It's like, no, I don't. Gollum is like a uniquely, like no one looks like him.
The thing is. With the sludge belcher thing there wasn't very much information about me at the time, and somebody had filmed Ian being filmed by me recording him at the Tana thing. And the wind was blowing. I need bangs. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I don't think I had makeup on, and I kind of had like my face kind of like...
You're being way too hard on yourself.
The point is, I don't
you're not going to convince me that you look like a green guy from Ghostbusters or something.
I didn't have a lot of definition in my face in that video. So I think what he was trying to say is it looks like I was melting into my own body. That's what hurt me about it.
I was asking the old GPT...
You need to stop announcing that you're doing that. That is so bad for the environment. You're like announcing that you're spam using GPT.
Oh no, don't worry. They're using nuclear now to fuel it.
That's not my concern. The concern is that it's like actively being poisoned every day.
I'm not poisoning it. I'm just learning things straight up.
Okay.
I think it's going to get. I think it's past the point of its usefulness.
Okay.
But you're still clinging to it.
Ian really loves asking.
Here.
He tried to tell me the other day.
I'll rewind it. I'll do something you guys will both like.
Okay.
So I Googled something the other day.
Nice.
And it was what flubs have caused presidential nominees to like lose the election. Like historically, like are there moments that you can like look at and be like, oh yeah, that like we're pretty sure that they would have won, or very likely they could have won had this not happened.
Was the guy going, yeah, in there?
No, he wasn't listed.
Damn.
Well, because he was not a presidential nominee. I think he was
in the primary.
You're like a runner-up. Yeah, primary guy.
Okay.
But yeah, that is a good
lost
example of a primary guy.
Yeah. Al Gore. I think it was between Dean Harris, or not Dean Harris, Dean something, and Al Gore.
Dean Norris.
Yeah, Al Gore won it. And but that was listed as one of them. It wasn't so much of like an embarrassing event or something like that, but it was the recount in Florida, and that was stopped early. And it was I think it was even projected that Al Gore was going to win had they kept going. So that was an interesting one. The other one, which I was not aware of, very interesting. Apparently, there was this thing back when George Bush Sr. was running. He was running against a guy, very funny name, Dukakis.
That's from Donnie Darko, right?
Yeah, probably. That sounds familiar. Yeah. But there was an ad. Basically, at the time, there's this thing called a furlough or something like that, where prison inmates would get like time away, their little vacation, little weekend pass to essentially go and visit family or go to church or some meme like that. It was pretty reasonable, and I think it was like for amongst people who like know the judicial system and the prison system and everything, they were like, oh, this is a good way to rehabilitate people and to keep them like kind of engaged and not and let off some steam and stuff. Anyway, there was a guy who got I want to say 10. He murdered someone, and he got a dozen or so of these furloughs, and there was a George Bush campaign ad that basically said like, Dukakis wants to is against the death penalty, and it was like George Bush is for the death penalty, and it was like Dukakis gives people these weekend passes to go to murderers to go fucking hang out or whatever and have a good time, and George Bush doesn't, and it was basically like painting. With a very specific character. They used a guy as an example who had stabbed someone to death. And eventually he either got out, or in one of the furloughs he got out and ended up like raping someone. And
you know what's crazy? I wonder if you're talking about the same case. There was someone who murdered a child and then was allowed to go on unsupervised days off from prison. Yeah. And he just never came back.
I think that's what it was. It's very similar.
Attacked another child like a 12-year-old.
While he was out. Yeah. It was something like that. And I'm like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. Like, it was a very powerful ad.
Yeah.
And it really spoke to like the fear motivation type of thing.
Yeah.
Even though I think like, I still think it's a good idea. The problem is it's unsupervised. And it's fucking, or in that instance, it was maybe unsupervised, or there was no oversight.
Yeah, no, they used to not babysit them.
That's ridiculous.
They would like let them go shopping. There was one dude who like, he was like, I want to go shopping with my mommy. And they like let him out, and then they were like, well, he never came back. And then he just booked it. He was
Crazy.
Gone. They've never found that guy too.
Yeah.
And he murdered someone. So I don't know what they were doing. That was like in the 80s or the 70s or something. Yeah, I've heard about a few of those cases where I was like, what the fuck? I think it's great if you're a nonviolent offender, if like you want to like go work a job or, you know, whatever, like slowly get back. But I mean, the murdering and letting them.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah. I don't know.
But yeah, that one seemed pretty obvious. It's like, oh yeah, that's a fucking really good ad, and it seemed it popped up straight away. I was like, okay, this is interesting.
Yeah.
There's a couple like, I don't know, a little bit more like long shot ones. There was like some Hillary Clinton laptop thing from her election.
Oh, the deleting the emails?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that one was pretty big.
And I was thinking, like, for this election, because I feels like we have a lot of things that we can point to now, one way or the other.
Tony Hinchcliffe.
Yes. Where I'm like, that would be so fucking cool. I want that to be the case.
You know what's crazy,
that Trump loses because of something as stupid as that.
As soon as I saw that joke, I thought of this podcast immediately, because I was talking shit about Kill Tony like a couple podcasts ago. I was like, I fucking called it.
Well, that was on the Bog.
Oh, shit. Okay,
so you gotta give them a little context.
Yeah, on the Bog, I just said that the vibe is off.
Yes.
You know, I try to hold punches, especially when it comes to like everybody's favorite comedians, because I know people get rabid about that. Yeah. But the few times that I've seen it, it's like been real no offense, but real comedians like Bill Burr and like Theo Von who go and like, you know, are guests, and they're actually like helpful and nice, and like they look at the normal group of guys that are there and they're like, why are you guys being such fucking assholes? And then the group of guys are just being typical like bully assholes, and I'm like, why is this? I don't feel like this is a good vibe. And then Tony Hinchcliffe made an ass of himself, so I feel vindicated for my irrational hatred of the...
It's not irrational. Yeah, I think you can be fair with that. Like, if anyone watches Kill Tony, it's just like, it's really, I don't know what the term is, lowbrow. What does lowbrow mean?
I think lowbrow is fine. I think it doesn't hinge on much other than like, let's bully.
I would call it mean-spirited.
Yeah, mean-spirited is a good... It just seems like there isn't much material there if there isn't an egg to crack. You know, like all the kids on the trampoline, they're like, crack the egg, crack the egg. That, and then the person, that's what's happening, is just crack the egg.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a collective bully session, because you can imagine everyone in the audience, it's like all these live viewers, they fucking admire the hell out of these comics, and they want to see someone getting fucking ripped to shreds. Like, and that's like what the comedy is in that case.
Yeah, I want to clarify, like, again, whatever, you can make whatever jokes you want. Objectively, it wasn't a funny joke.
It was a really bad joke.
Just a bad joke. Like, there was no thread. It felt like there was no thread that was connecting it.
Yeah.
That one and the carving watermelons one were both like, what is the what is this?
It has to be good for you to like walk that line.
Good wordplay.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't... Strange. Someone, I don't know if it was Joe Rogan or someone else, but I saw a clip of, I think it was Joe Rogan. He was saying he had told Tony one day that, like, a Puerto Rico joke is going to get you stabbed or something like that. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is some shit that he said before?
Oh.
Like, this is...
like, no
fucking way.
He pulled it out of the Trump rally because he was like, people love this.
He's been sitting on that? Like, I mean, I get, man. Yeah, I wish I knew more about the customs of stand-up to know, like, I know people reuse material.
Yeah.
That's the whole fucking point. You come up with a set.
Yeah.
And you do it.
Yep.
But, like, realizing that was maybe something he's whipped out a few times, I'm like, yeah, no wonder why you're fucking doing Kill Tony.
Yeah.
Like, no wonder. You're a fucking failed comedian.
Yeah. There's not, I would not find that funny. I just objectively, I'm not Puerto Rican. I'm not tied to Puerto Rico at all. It offended me because it was just bad.
Yeah.
To be honest.
I will say, to his credit, I understand trying to link the vagueness of, yeah, there's a garbage patch out in the ocean.
Right, because that's a real thing.
There's
garbage in the ocean.
And then you could pivot that into something else. I understand that logic of like, oh, let's do this whole switcheroo. Yeah. They'll think I'm talking about the actual garbage.
Right, okay, that's a good setup. We've taken the first step.
But we have a problem. Puerto Rico isn't in the Pacific Ocean, so we can't go that route. We just have to talk about the garbage patch.
Okay, we're already in trouble.
Yeah.
We've hit our
I know how to workshop this. Here's the thing. I think what makes it not funny is that he's punching down. Punching down, it's just kind of like, kind of lame.
Epstein's Island. How about that? That's
Epstein's Island would work. I think that the framework of the joke is good. So I actually didn't laugh at it, but I was just like, it's a joke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't even say that it's like...
Oh, we should have you at every fucking open mic.
Yeah.
You.
This is me. This is called Kill Dane, and Tony is up on stage right now, and this is what I'm saying to him. I'm saying, let's workshop it. Okay, you could say the floating garbage island in the ocean actually crashed into the U.S. and now they have to call it Florida.
See,
so now it's a self-referential, like we're American, we all like can clown on Florida. You can't say that at a Trump rally though, because Florida is red. So you have to say something else. And before he even thought about like, okay, what would make this better, he just went for Puerto Rico, or maybe he's been sitting on it. I have no idea, but that's even funnier.
Yeah, he does know that Puerto Rico they vote in America, right?
Yeah, they're technically an American state.
Yeah,
I don't think that they vote for the president though.
They do, right? Don't they?
I don't know.
No, because after he made that joke, I actually was like, oh, did Trump lose the Puerto Rico vote in my mind? And I looked up, can Puerto Rico vote for the president? And it said no, but they can vote in other things.
Okay, that's
apparently.
so fucked. Because don't they?
Well,
they have.
They're a territory. I don't think they're a state.
Yeah, but
I don't know. That's just the rule, right?
They still have to follow all of the American. Like, don't they pay?
Yeah. Which is why Puerto Rico's been.
Things.
They've been saying for a long time that they should make Puerto Rico the 51st state.
Yeah, at least.
I think that they don't want to do it because they don't want to have to add more stars to the flag.
Sorry, Rob.
That is a good joke.
That's a good joke. What the hell? It just, to me, okay, so the punching up thing, I do agree with, but just flat out, like, from what I know from Puerto Rico, and I've met Puerto Ricans, and I've, like, watched some travel stuff from there, like, there's nothing like it's not related. It's not.
You can't even draw a line. Like, that's the problem.
The only line you can draw is that you think Puerto Ricans are garbage.
Yeah,
or that the island is
full of trash.
Shit.
Yeah, the island is not taken care of. I mean, like, it's not really that funny of a joke.
Yeah, like there's no. I guess that's my problem. It's like not only is it punching down, but it's not even like. It doesn't make sense unless the only joke is you think that either the people or the place itself is disgusting, which is like I just don't like that.
Yeah, because like some jokes can be funny because true, and maybe he thought that was a part of that.
Case, he was like, "Oh, everybody will nod and agree with this."
I love the idea,
which is great,
of writing jokes about other states and countries before actually traveling to them and like understanding the culture or doing any research. You're just kind of like, you're like edgy first.
Yeah.
And then let's work around that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, somebody tried to use, I think it was the voice actor, he was a very popular voice actor in the 90s, Mexican American, what's his name?
George Lopez?
George Lopez. I think he did a joke at a Kamala rally, I think it was him, where he made a joke of like basically like you better build the wall fast. If you leave supplies out, you know, they're not going to be there in the morning, right? Which is like essentially like Mexican will take the extra supplies and fucking, you know, put it towards their business or whatever. And like people were trying to say like, why is he allowed to make that joke and like fucking Tony Hinchcliffe can't? It's like, well, one, he's a Mexican American.
It's self-deprecation.
It's self-deprecation, and at least there's a line of thread that makes sense within the joke.
Yeah,
like there's a reason like for saying it, if that makes sense.
Also, just like by virtue of it not being a controversy, is the like explanation you need.
Yeah,
in and of itself, it's like. Well, because it didn't, like, that's the line you walk.
Yeah.
He walked the line. He did. It's undeniable that he took a risk.
He took a risk. He walked the line.
Successfully.
He's aware of Mexican culture because he's a part of it. And he was aware of, like, where the line is and what is, like, an appropriate joke that isn't just
I will say, really smart comedians as well can have an exit route on a joke like that. If they actually workshop it and figure it out of like, okay, this is risky territory. How do I like frame it? You can make it so that it's a little bit more like, did he mean this or did he mean that?
Yeah.
And then when it comes out, you have a built-in defense.
Yeah. I think Bo Burnham was pretty good at that when he used to do edgier stand-up.
Yeah. Louis C.K. is like really good at that.
Yeah.
He always like does this cool thing where he'll say something outrageous and immediately people will be like not on his side, but over time he'll bring you to his side and then people will be laughing at the absurdity that they're agreeing with him.
Yeah.
So like that is a strategy, but what's funny to me is that even at Trump's rally, Tony's joke didn't land. Like people in the audience were like, huh? Like people were like confused whether they should be laughing. And then he clearly didn't have like
a backup.
Yeah. So he was just like, oh, okay, whoops. Like it was like really embarrassing, and that was the funniest part about it is like he was like kind of floundering a little bit after he said that, even at a Trump rally where like you'd think stereotypically that joke would play well.
Yeah. Well, wasn't it in New York?
I don't know.
I think it was at Madison Square Gardens.
Yeah, it was.
And there's a lot of Puerto Ricans in New York.
Yeah, and like, I mean, even still, like the average conservative in New York is going to be a lot more liberal.
Yeah,
than
that's true.
Conservative in fucking Kentucky or some shit.
But I think famously there was a Nazi rally at Madison Square Gardens. Yeah, I'm pretty sure in like the 30s there was like, I think we have to look it up. Look it up and put a little thing here if it did.
Thanks for creating more work for me.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that. You're
I love
so
you.
sweet.
Aww.
Oh, I love.
What's great is that you're actually seeing nothing right now because Ian didn't want to do it.
Thank you, Dane. You are even sweeter.
But yeah, the Tony Hinchcliffe, I would love it if that was a flub because I have been secretly... I know this is going to... Man, I hate pissing off fan bases, but I'll just be honest. I've been, like, fucking manifesting their downfall.
Mode.
Yeah, I've been...
Well, it's also just, like, fucking...
They're annoying.
I don't know. I think I'm a little bit less afraid of it as well, just because I'm... Like, a good example of this is there was this fucking lie detector test that I think... Jacksepticeye, Sean.
I love that. Yeah, I love that.
However long ago, like a year ago or some shit.
Yeah.
And he was like very unapologetic. It was like he was
Beast.
asked, what is there a YouTuber you hate or some shit?
Yeah.
And he said Mr. Beast with his full chest.
I fucking love
And it's like, I mean, sure enough, a year from now, it's like, like it's not a problem.
Yeah, everybody's clipping it.
Yeah.
Like, well, he
It
knew.
might feel a little weird in the moment,
Yeah.
or like you're swimming against the flow in the moment, but
Here's the thing. I'm just going to start saying my truth, period. I'm tired.
truth, period.
Oh.
This podcast.
Truth, period.
Yes, because you're a woman.
I'm having my period.
You leak.
Well, the thing is, you can't like YouTube removed downvotes.
Oh, true.
So like, there's nothing that you people can do.
That's true.
You
can
people.
try. You can try and downvote it, and you can use your little fucking plug-in that lies to you and gives you inaccurate results on what the downvotes are. You can use that. It's not real.
It is so much cope, by the way. I think that's hilarious how I found out that that's not a plugin that shows you the real downvote. It's just like a community downvote thing. So it's just used by people who just want to downvote everything.
Yes.
So it's just like people go in the comments are like, this video has so many downvotes. It's like, no, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
It's just like, it's just a fake downvote thing that you're looking at.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
It's so unbelievably wrong. Like, it's crazy how wrong it is. We've seen people like post what the plugin says the downvotes are, and it's nowhere near.
Yeah, we'll go to the real one that shows on YouTube Studio, and we're like, not that.
Not even close to that. But yeah, so you can
that
be in
creates
your little
quite the
copium.
bubble.
It does, yeah.
Okay, so the other things that I have listed here is Roe v. Wade being overturned. Like that could be a reason, like a marker.
The gay one?
She knows that's not the gay one. That's a little inside joke.
That's a reference.
Which I think is very valid. You know, like if women really come out and shake up the vote, that would probably be the reason.
No, for sure. That's I think there's gonna be a lot of women. There was this funny video I saw today where this woman was like, I'm not going to remind my husband to go vote, so I don't even have to cancel his vote out.
Oh, nice.
And, like, there's probably a lot of that happening.
Oh, true.
Of, like, women who usually remind their partners, they're like, extremely hetero, whatever partners.
They're looking for excuses, too. If you told me some shit, like, babe, I'm going to go vote. You just relax. I'll make some dinner.
Yeah, play some COD. I'll go pick up some pizza on the way back. You don't even have to get up.
Yeah, they're not functioning. Okay, cool.
So that's kind of cool. Secret weapon.
I will say, and I could be completely dead stupid wrong about this, but I feel, this is just, and tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like this time around, they're playing it a little smarter by not propping up Kamala as the first female president.
Agreed.
Like they were with Hillary.
Agreed.
Because I think people with Hillary, I think that they didn't care about that as much as they thought that it was going to be cared about by people. So like I think that might have been a downfall of Hillary's as well, is running on, I'm going to be the first woman president, instead of on policies and things that people who are voting actually do care about.
So I'm going to try and explain this in a way that, like, because this is going to sound extremely sexist and gender whatever, and I don't mean it like this, so I'm going to try and walk this properly, but I believe that demasculinating, that's not a word, but
I like it. I'll take it.
Yeah.
I know what it means.
Demasculinating Hillary was the worst thing that they could do for a woman running for president. You have to, like, push up the masculinity. Like, and masculinity, to a lot of people, normies, I would say, is viewing them as, like, serious, having policy, you know, just being capable first. And I think as soon as you, like, say things like first female president, and you really, like, girlify them, and take away this scariness of, like, this is a full-grown adult that's going to be controlling the free world, you are not doing anybody any favors. And I think when you push the feminist, like female aspect of it, you're actually doing a huge disservice to the female president that's running. You almost have to make it like a complete afterthought, like completely.
That's really interesting. I'm glad that you clarified it, because I had felt that way, but I had felt weird feeling that way, because I'm like, am I sexist for thinking that she shouldn't have been bragging about being the female president as much as she did? Because I do feel like that did hurt her, but maybe I don't know.
No, it hurt her.
It's nice to hear that you feel that way too about it, because I do think that did hurt her.
Yeah, it's just not how the world works. It's definitely not how America works. You can't it's like the whole, like, girl power, girls do it better stuff. It just takes away the validity.
Yeah.
Basically, of, like, you have to, it almost comes off like, you have to prop her up.
I need to go let Fiona out.
Oh, Fiona's crying. Fiona's tummy hurts. What the hell? Why am I gray?
What? Yeah, why Jesse, why are you blue?
Hello? I'm normal here.
Yeah, the wide went fucking blue mode.
Hello? That's so weird.
She needed a piss.
Oh, poor Fiona.
Oh, Texas is blue.
No.
It is right now.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what it means.
Wow.
That's not surprising. Everybody moved there from California.
True. And Joe Rogan just left his door and he's like, leave! Get the hell out!
He's one of them. He's one of the people that moved there from California.
I know, but he's
like, I belong here. What are you talking about, Joe? You're one of them.
I know, but Joe, like, he got with the program, right? He just endorsed Trump. He was like, Elon Musk is the smartest, coolest, most epic guy ever, and he's right. We should vote for Trump.
Did he officially vote for, or did he officially endorse Trump?
Yeah, last night.
In a weird kind of way, like a last minute kind of like, well, after hearing Elon out.
He called Elon like the coolest, most epic guy ever, or the smartest. I need to read it to you.
I think Joe was one of the undecided voters.
Oh my God, I do.
Well, here's the thing.
I do think that's right.
I saw a clip from a while back where he was talking to somebody about Trump's rallies. This was before he interviewed Trump. And he was saying, he should hire like a comedian to go and do one of his rallies. He should get Tony Hinchcliffe. And so hearing that, it made me think, because Tony did his rally, I think either very close to before or after he did his podcast, or Trump went on his podcast. I think Joe Rogan suggested to Trump that he have Tony Hinchcliffe do one of his rallies. So in a way, if you're right that Tony Hinchcliffe making that joke at his rally is one of the not a boon, but like a flub of his election, then Joe Rogan could be the reason why Trump loses, which I think is historically very funny that Joe Rogan, the host of Fear Factor, was the most influential person.
Dude, that's sick. And I was thinking JD Vance was going to be the guy to do it.
Yeah, but it was actually Joe Rogan the whole time. Wait, where's his like tweet about
sucking and fucking?
Yeah, talking about how Elon Musk is literally the genius that we all need to suck and fuck.
Yeah.
That's so 2015 of him.
Yeah, he was like talking about how he's like a genius, and after the interview that he had with Elon, that he's like 100% sure that Joe is. And then Elon Musk like went on his podcast and like looked at the camera and he was like, vote. This is the last time.
Vote like your life depends on it.
Yeah, he's like, vote like
your
and life depends on it.
Man, it's so easy. Like, he specifically targeted, he was like, young men.
Yeah.
He was like, young men need to vote. It's like, interesting. I wonder why that is.
Yeah, I know.
Like, it's so, like, you gotta be a little bit suspicious when they, like, call you out.
Specifically
your demographic. They're like, yeah, like, you want it to stay fucking good for us, right? Like, this is the only way.
Why the hell does this fucking guy tweet so much? I can't find it.
Joseph Rogan?
Yeah, Joseph Rogan.
Does he really?
I had no idea.
Yeah, I mean, that one...
That would explain a lot, actually. Maybe I should follow him. I might be missing a lot of gold.
The great and powerful Elon Musk. If it wasn't for him, we'd be fucked. He makes what I think is the most compelling case.
Can we stop right there for a moment?
Yeah.
I just think that's so pussy, so beta.
Yeah, I know.
To put it's weird.
I know.
It's so weird.
Yeah, I know.
Have some, like, self-respect, some, like, confidence.
The glazing is...
Yeah, I'm like, you're more influential than Elon. Shut the fuck up. Like, have some respect for yourself.
Yeah,
man.
that's what in my head, I'm like, have some respect for yourself, dude.
Jesus.
Like, nobody fucking...
What are you? If he's great and powerful, what the fuck are you?
I know. It's not like if Elon Musk had a podcast, people would be...
No.
He's boring. Yo, I'll say.
Man.
He says... Okay, so if it wasn't for him, we'd be fucked, which I think is insane. With like when you think about like Tesla loop or Hyperloop, whatever the fuck that's called, all of that shit. He said we were going to be at Mars in 2020 or 2019,
and self-driving cars and all the rest.
But whatever. He says he makes what I think is the most compelling case for Trump you'll hear, and I agree with him every step of the way. For the record, yes, that's an endorsement of Trump. Enjoy the podcast.
It's so interesting because I listened to, I don't know, maybe like 20 minutes of it. And I was like, this is not compelling. I wonder if Joe was like referring to something that Elon told him like off camera or something. Because I'm like, that's like really pathetic.
I think it's the fear mongering. Yeah. I think it was like him looking at the camera and being like, this is the last election.
Yeah.
Like vote like your life depends on it.
Well, there was a specific line about... they're going to bring in a bunch of immigrants into all of the red states and just like take the election from here on out.
That's what he was saying.
Such a like advanced, insane.
Very fascinating because I feel like immigrants are more likely to vote Republican than Democrat.
A lot of them are,
because like they've come from places that often have a warped form of like socialism that they're not interested in. We've even been in Ubers where we've talked to like immigrants that, you know, we always ask like, when did you come to the US? Why did you come to the US? Who are you voting for? We even like, I remember every time we go to Florida, we had a who was it? I think it was from Venezuela, and we asked him like, are you happy with Trump? I think it was Trump at the time. He's like, oh yeah, I love Trump. Like a lot of immigrants aren't even like blue, which
is so funny, like to have that like automatic bigotry in your head.
So
just
weird.
Basically be like, yeah, like, when they come over.
I think people forget, and maybe it's because they don't talk to people who are immigrating to the US. They're immigrating here because they like it here. Which means that they don't want it to change, which means that they would be more likely to vote for the party that says that they don't want things to change, right?
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward.
They're moving here because they don't want to work. So they move here because we have all these social programs that they can just be lazy and live off of welfare.
Thank you, Dane. That's so enlightening.
This is paraphrased from my family, by the way, I'm sure.
Oh, fuck. I'm saying, like, as a Canadian who, like, our, like, whole infrastructure is built upon immigrants coming to our country. It's a very important part of, like, Canadian culture. It's like, yes, we're I mean, most of us, like, are either our grandparents or our parents have come from other countries. But, like, the most patriotic Canadians you will meet are first generation like immigrants, like first like coming over from India, people who've moved from India who fucking love the Canucks. You see them, they're wearing their Canucks jerseys. They fucking love that shit. They love hockey. And like they're there to be Canadian. They're the most Canadian Canadians you'll ever meet.
Well, it is like I think a lot of these conservatives are telling on themselves by saying that that is like the fear.
Yeah.
Because it's not even new. Like, like I don't know. Like you could also make this argument for like over the past fucking 5 decades or something. Whenever like illegal or legal immigration got kicked up, like you could still say like they're going to be asking for welfare programs, they're going to be voting blue, they're going to be doing all these things that would change the election, you know, not in your favor, for your party's favor.
I'm pretty sure the busing in immigrants to vote thing is actually like not new as far as like
a scare tactic, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I heard that has been something that people have been saying for like literally since like Clinton.
Yeah.
Wouldn't
probably even sooner.
The bigger fear be that like a bunch of streamers are moving to Austin to vote blue?
Yeah, that is actually a big fear that I have.
Yeah, all the streamers are moving to Austin. They're going to vote blue. They're all fucking...
They want to have abortions every fucking day.
Yeah. Where's the concern for that? What I feel like there should be actually like more concern for like Californians moving into like middle America. Like that would sway the vote way more than like fucking people that are moving in trying to just live a better life.
That's true.
They don't want higher taxes. They don't want you think that people who've come over who are just trying to fucking grind and make money, you think they're like, yeah, taxes.
It is funny though, I will say, to watch all of the these TikTok live streams, because almost every other one I was watching where it was like a Trump guy like getting all excited, there's really hyper focusing on how much things are going to cost with Kamala in office.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this is crazy, because I've been seeing nothing but like the charts basically essentially saying like what your income's going to look like in all of the different tax brackets under both Trump and Kamala. And I'm like, I mean, they've laid it out pretty fucking...
There's a Nobel Prize winning economist who was like, yes, your life will be better financially under Kamala.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, Face Banks.
Yeah, they just think it's a trick.
Well, Face Banks tweeted out that inflation's at an all-time high.
Yeah, everywhere.
Not true.
Yeah.
Would you say that?
I barely pay attention to politics.
Yeah.
And I know the reason why Trump would be bad for people's bottom line.
Tariffs.
He's like obsessed with tariffs for some reason, which is like an old ass dumb thing that no one likes.
No one knows what a tariff is or something.
Because it hasn't been used for so many years because they don't work.
It's so weird.
And then he's just like, he's obsessed with doing it, even though like, I was shocked to find out like after doing literally 1 second of Googling that tariffs don't like make you money from other countries.
No,
you're making money from your own
consumer.
Yeah, you're basically like
universal sales tax.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good way of putting it. Yeah, you're basically just like increasing prices on purpose.
Yes, and the only way that it ever works, I think the only time that's ever like worked, and I'm going to say that like very loosely, is like I think the reason why we don't see Chinese cars here is because we've punished them with like tariffs and other things.
Make them way too expensive.
Make them way too expensive to have here, and they're better. I'm pretty sure Chinese cars are better than our cars, and we can't even fucking have them.
Well, the way
it's just, I want to say that it's just his little attempt to try and be Ronald Reagan again.
Oh, Reaganomics.
Because Ronald Reagan's little Reaganomics thing was like give money to the rich and then just trust them that they'll give it to the poor. And with the tariffs thing, it's like, well, like make sure that all of the companies are like buying things domestically and just trust them not to like fuck over consumers in return. And it's just like you're not gonna Like, you shouldn't trust rich people to do anything like morally right.
I know.
It's not going to happen.
I feel like we never learned that lesson ever.
The way I'm seeing the tariffs thing specifically is a lot like, since moving to Washington State, we were like, oh, cool, like no state income tax. But they have extremely high sales tax. And the truth is, like, if you don't adjust your spending at all, like, you're still roughly going to be spending. You're still going to be taxed the amount that the state and local government sees as appropriate. For what they need for their budgets and everything. And I see the tariff as like essentially the same thing, where it's like you can move these things all around to like obscure the truth for people. But ultimately, you're still going to be spending the same amount.
But it's even worse, though, with a tariff. It's worse.
I mean, I'm sure it could be. I wouldn't be, like, I'm not setting this up to make that argument. I'm just saying that it is, it's good enough in the short term to confuse people, the average voter, to feel like, oh, that's the magic bullet. That's what we haven't done yet, is the tariff. I heard about those. Okay, Trump's cooking. He's on to something.
He's running the country like a business.
Exactly.
And I just said something really smart because he's a businessman and he's running the country like it's a business.
You just do it enough because he just needs to win this one time, and it doesn't matter if he's lying at all. As long as he's able to obscure it enough for another month.
The crazy thing, though, about a tariff is that it specifically fucks over like people with like the least amount of money. Because it's not adjusted. There's no like scale, right? If you need to buy an item and it's tariff to shit.
I mean, it probably depends on the products.
No, well, is he tariffing everything? What's he tariffing?
I know. I mean,
like, I'm just saying that.
I don't think he's got a plan for anything.
it's the cost of the item doesn't change for your income,
right?
He said specifically once that he wants to put like an across the board tariff on all imported goods.
That's insane.
Which is like,
So what our bananas are gonna? It's like,
to me, that just translates to like everything's going to cost about 20% more.
That's insane.
Everything is going to cost about like way more.
So the complaining about inflation, the solution is super
to make everything cost more. I don't really. It doesn't actually make any sense, and I think the only reason why he sees it as a good idea is because he's trying to. I think he's concerned with his legacy, and he wants to be the president that like. I don't know, gets America out of debt or something like Bill Clinton did or something. So, or that's my guess. I don't know what his problem is. I think he just doesn't. I just think he doesn't know how to do politics, and tariffs are the only thing that he kind of understands because it's kind of businessy. So in his mind, he's like, "That's what I understand." It clicks in my brain. Everybody else go do all of the other boring shit that I don't want to deal with, and I'll focus on that thing because I understand it, even though it doesn't make any sense. Like, how I want to approach it,
man,
or that he doesn't know the history of it not working in the past.
You know that I don't know how true this is. This might be misinformation.
All right, spew it.
I correct
you.
You remember that Crime Junkie episode of that she was on an army base and she was like brutally
I think so.
Yeah. So Trump offered to pay for her funeral, apparently. And the bill came in and it was $60,000, and he said he wasn't going to pay that to bury someone, basically.
He doesn't have it.
Probably not. I need to find the exact quote because it was more offensive than that. I'm pretty sure he like put a racial spin on it as well.
What?
I think. I don't want to. You should look it up because he apparently said he was going to pay for it, and then it was $60,000, and he was like, "No, I'm just kidding. Actually, I don't want to. Nobody. You're swindling me." Is basically what he said to the family.
Newsweek.com says, did Trump snub soldiers' funeral bill? What we know.
Oh.
October 23rd, 2024. Interesting.
Yeah. That's what I don't know how true it could be misinformation. I'm gonna like preface and post face it with that. But I did see that, and I was like, I would not be shocked, but I also hope not.
Well, to be honest, like based on what I'm like reading, it says Trump said, "If I can help you out with the funeral, I'll help. I'll help you with that," he said, according to White House transcripts of his remarks. "I'll help you out financially. I'll help you." And I mean, the thing is, like, if he thought it was going to
Trump's words is so like is so stupid. Sorry.
I think it's probably just one of those things where like he just forgot because it's not important to him. I mean, that's
he was just waffling in someone's direction, and then it came back to bite him.
Right.
It's called the weave.
Yeah, it's the weave, the financial weave.
I want to say this because I listened to all 3 hours of that thing.
So did we.
And I think he has ADHD.
Dementia.
No, I think he has ADHD. I really do think I'm gonna TikTok diagnose him with ADHD because he cannot, like, he's just like plowing through words.
Yeah,
like
plowing through.
Like and just like not like he calls it the weave. He gives it his little. I call it. He like can't focus.
No,
clearly can't focus.
I think you're giving him way too much credit by saying he has ADHD.
Yeah. No. I don't think. I maybe it is giving him credit, and that maybe he doesn't realize that he's dodging things. But I think just listening to the way he talks, it just sounds like he doesn't even like realize that he's not like.
I don't know, man.
He reminds
finishing anything that he wants to say.
I was telling Anissa this. He fucking reminds me exactly of my grandfather. Specifically my grandfather who like ended up owning a bunch of fucking liquor stores and doing all these things. He's since, lost like all of his money. He's dead now. Yeah. But he before dying, he made sure to bankrupt himself and not leave anything for any.
No generational wealth. Wow, that's actually quite heroic of him.
But it's very Trump. It's very Trump.
No, it is.
And and he operated. I think I don't know. I'm not as old as my grandpa. I didn't do business with him, but the way I heard him speak was always very reminiscent of Trump.
Yeah.
And especially as I see Trump getting into his older age. My grandfather would 100%, if he was running for office, he would say the same shit as Trump.
For sure.
He would invent the weave, and he would spin this this problem that he has as a benefit, as a cool thing that he does. And like all the rest of it, the distractions, it's not a distraction. He doesn't want to answer the question, and he knows that he has old white man privilege, which means he can ignore the basis, the fundamental point of what Joe Rogan was asking him, and he can say fucking anything else because he just starts it off with, "Oh, I'll tell you this one thing." Yeah. And it's like, how do you interrupt an old man who's like fucking dementia ridden? Like, you can't do that. You got to let him cook.
I forget. I know I've asked you this a million times. It's not my fault because both your family's just very white and all the same.
Facts.
Is this the grandfather I met?
Yeah, that said that
I was really mean to him.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I was at a family event. Let me preface this. I love your family. I love them. I love all of them. I just hate old people.
Old people are horrid to interact with a lot of the time.
Yeah, like he specifically...
Especially very conservative old people are very horrid to interact with because they have not fixed themselves in the slightest.
Yeah, like and to clarify, I have a bit of, my grandfather on my dad's side, he just pissed me off so much. I was just so combative with that fucker that anytime like an old patriarchal guy tries to talk to me, I'm kind of a bit cold. But I think I had my phone out and we were at your family dinner and he said something about...
It was basically just some snide remark about always being on your phone.
Always being on your phone, and I can't fucking remember what
I don't know what it was, but essentially it was just...
But that was the only exchange I ever had with him, I think.
That's the only thing he ever said to you?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I mean, and that's exactly why it was fucking wretched, right?
Yeah, it was wretched. Yeah,
nice to meet you, by the way.
Yeah, they just feel like they could fucking do whatever.
Yeah,
like, and everything they say is a joke. Like, I'm old, wise, and experienced. This is how people interact.
Yeah, shame you.
You're always just like ribbing someone, and it's like, no, not always ribbing people.
It's just like throwing shame. I don't even think he knew who I was.
Yeah, probably not.
Because it was the only time I've ever met him. So
we're gonna have our time.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna be the biggest bitch when I'm old.
See, yeah,
I know it, and I think that's also why I have no problem being a cunt to old people, because they get it. That's what life's about, being cunty.
No,
right?
No, she's not gonna be a cunt. I'm not gonna be a cunt. Dane, I can't speak for you. Maybe you want to be a cunt.
I'm not saying I want to. I'm just saying I think that if you're saying all old people are like this, isn't it safe to say that when we're old, we will be that way?
I don't think that's true.
Enjoyable,
I think
very
that's
enjoyable old people.
Okay, so you're saying that you're not saying that all old people are like that. Because it sounded like at the beginning of this conversation, Ian, you said old people are horrid.
No, that's
to interact with. That was a very blanket statement.
No,
so
you're right. That was wrong of me.
Be a little bit more.
Oh, it's not you. I said that.
Oh, I know.
Dane's talking to me right now.
Yeah, but I co-signed it, and I think it was wrong. There are some lovely old people that I really enjoy, and I think they're like the backbone of our. I think they're very sweet.
Okay, so let me lay it out. When you grow up in a very conservative household, you have a lot of experiences with old conservative people.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Who don't fucking leave their house. They're paranoid. They have a lot of fucking out there ideas. So that is a lot of your exposure with old people. That was my exposure. Since leaving my parents' home and interacting with a lot more old people, I have come to find out that is not a universal experience.
Yeah,
and there are a lot of wonderful older people who
have a lot to share.
Have a lot to share and are not insanely judgmental and think that they know everything.
Our neighbor is fucking awesome, and he's old as shit, and he's like an old hippie, and he fucking plays jazz music up for a bunch of nudists.
They have a lot to share, and they also listen to a lot of Cher.
Oh, that's true. That was
Sonny
good,
and Cher.
No, it was good. Also,
I got you, babe.
I have to say that Ian's family lives for fucking ever. Your family lives forever.
Yeah.
Like
good
all of
good genes.
Good genes. All of my grandparents period died when I was very young. But the cool ones died before the less cool ones.
You're cringe, you're gonna live longer.
No offense.
So genetically
Miss
speaking,
you guys. Do you see what I did there?
Genetically speaking, Anissa's gonna die first. Ian, what will you do after?
True. What will you do when I die of Alzheimer's and cancer?
Man, I'm gonna find a young bride.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to hear.
We're talking late 40s.
Oh,
nice.
I thought you were gonna go all Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
Have like an age limit. Not anything on your 25th birthday to the curb.
That's why I don't get it, man. Like you're 80.
Yeah.
Like a 40-year-old is
True.
like
that is like a
half
sports
your age.
car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Like how can you not see a 40-year-old as beautiful?
True.
Yeah.
But at that point, wouldn't you say that like the difference between 40 and 20 is like I can't even really tell.
That's probably how they justify it. Yeah.
True. And they get more mileage.
Oh, true.
Because 40 to 60 is different than
Here's
20
the thing.
to 40.
I think that the reason why it's usually like 18 to 25-year-olds dating these 80-year-olds is because those girls are more willing to do that.
Yes, you're correct.
When you're 40, you're not really, you're smarter and you're like, I'm not going to date a 80-year-old. Like, why would I do that? So I think that it's just kind of like old man wants a younger woman. They don't care how young, as long as it's like half their age and younger. And the only ones who are signing up are these really young ones, and it kind of makes them look a little bit worse.
You're correct. It's kind of crazy how young people come off the older you get. Like now, as a 31-year-old, when I talk to a 20-year-old, I'm like, holy shit. That's what I've done my time.
I will say there is an age where they really hit the brakes. Old people.
Oh, you mean like
where like Trump? I think is at that age now. Like I think we just witnessed him going from like, yeah, I can have like a pretty quick conversation with someone to now like I'm slowing down and I'm confused.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's a bit more of a struggle. It's a little closer to talking to an 8-year-old or something.
When you
like
get around to 80.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably
like late
80.
70s for sure.
Unless you're my family and then it's 50.
So shout out your family, Alzheimer's at 50.
Woo.
We should bring a 60-something-year-old on the podcast.
Okay. And see who's cognitively quicker, me or them, because that would be interesting.
I don't think we're not doing that. Maybe if they're a staple guest, maybe we could do that.
Because 65, you think about it. For most people, their brains start spinning out at 80. For my family, brains start spinning out at 50.
Oh, so you should be about spinning out time.
Yeah, I'm spinning out.
Yeah, okay.
So we should get that. Who is it? We had an 80-year-old on this channel already. The 80-year-old that Dax interviewed.
Right.
What's his name?
Space Guy Jim.
Good space guy?
Yeah.
Space Guy Jim. Good space guy.
Yeah.
I think he's too old.
Is he still kicking? I think he might be dead. I think he was like 80 something whenever he was on.
Really?
Like two or 3 years ago.
Check the obituaries.
No, he's 85 currently.
Shit. Is he still kicking?
I don't know if that would be reported on Google.
Check his socials.
actually kind of true. I don't know if he's famous enough to have.
I think obituaries, if you type in like the name and then obituary.
I mean, I'm not. I don't.
I don't remember his real name.
One of the most depressing things I ever read was that when people get old, at least back in the day, you would read the obituaries in the newspaper to see if any of your friends died.
No one would call you?
Well, it depends how close you are, right? Like, you know.
Oh, right.
But it's crazy to think one day we will be at that age where we'll probably be like looking at people's Twitter accounts to see if they're still tweeting.
Maybe.
That's like our obituary, you know.
I think it'll pop up on our AR glasses.
Oh, true.
Okay, so
it'll pop up and say Miley Cyrus died at 82.
89.
Yeah.
She seems like an 89er to me.
We have a couple other options for flubs that could lean in one direction or the other. I'm just going to go through them real quick. Biden dropping out. That could have spelled disaster.
True.
For the Trump campaign.
True.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were saying Biden dropping out was a big flub for Biden. Yeah, that was a big mistake on his part if he wanted to win.
I do like the idea that we could all write in Biden on a ballot and then force him to
go again.
Force him to... Don't do that, but that would be funny, yeah.
The debate, Trump not doing so well versus the debate with Kamala.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
Right.
Yeah.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats that live there. It is a great quote.
So good.
And then I
also he did say something that I wish got more press, but because it was on alternate media, like it's not getting it. I love the part in the podcast where he's like, the windmills drive the whales freaking crazy.
Oh yeah,
that made me laugh. So I had to keep rewinding that part because it was like so funny. It was driving the whales freaking crazy.
He also said that he wished that he was a whale biologist.
Yeah, I want to be a whale. He wanted to be a whale psychologist.
Oh, psychologist.
You know what it is? I want to be a whale psychiatrist. It drives the whales freaking crazy.
And then the other thing that he said that I really like, somebody tweeted it, where they were like, me to the vampire that wants to enter my house. And then it was like him being like, you're not going in there, Vladimir.
Oh my God.
That
is such a good one. Yeah.
There's that one. And then the other one is, I have concepts of a plan.
Oh, yeah.
That's another great line.
So good.
Oh, have you seen on TikTok like I guess you call them like girly pop baby doll types?
Yeah.
Like lip syncing him saying that and being like all like I have concepts of a plan.
Yeah.
I'm not president right now.
I'm
Oops.
not president right now.
Because he sounds like a little baby when he says it.
Yeah.
I'm not president right now.
The last one I have here is JD Vance as his running mate, choosing JD Vance.
Oh yeah, fucking the couch.
Yeah, fucking the couch.
Well, just in general, just like a young, depressing kind of uncharismatic guy.
God,
I tried to watch him on Rogan because he went on Rogan after.
So uninteresting.
I actually just like tuned out because it was boring. But I did see him say the word "fuck," which was funny.
Oh my God.
He's like,
did he follow his couch?
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I've got a potty mouth. You know, it's not so. And he told a story where the punchline was him saying "fuck," and it sounded like the kind of person who doesn't swear very much, who wants to like say that they do. That's how it came off to me. So it was kind of cringe.
Yeah.
That was as good as it got, but then it got really boring.
He is like literally like male failure.
Yeah,
he
personified.
He's like the first millennial to be like appointed or possibly be appointed to like higher office.
Oh God!
And what a representative! He represents the worst of us.
Yeah, he does.
He really does. He is a millennial. He really is like a millennial, but like the bad stereotype.
Yeah, like Disney millennial.
Well, I was gonna say like he. Well, what it feels like, though, is that he was completely disconnected from what makes millennials millennials, like like some of these like core things, like doggo.
He's like a LaCroix millennial.
Like
yeah.
Like,
well, he's a millennial who's fucking homeschooled kind of vibe.
Do you know what I mean by LaCroix millennial, though? Like,
yeah, like less version of a millennial.
Okay, I just wasn't sure if like maybe you thought I was saying like he's a diehard LaCroix fan or something.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have thought that, babe.
Let me put it this way: I don't want to like hate on all millennial Disney fans. I'm not here to do that. I don't know enough about you guys.
Disney's great, by the way.
Yeah, Disney's great, but specifically the type of millennial that only goes to Disneyland when Star Wars opened up so he could get a blue milk. And like dresses up as Boba Fett multiple times, like for Halloween and shit. That's the type of like Disney millennial vibe.
Interesting. Okay.
No, he's more of a Han Solo.
You think so?
I think he thinks he's Han Solo, that kind of thing.
Oh yeah, I could see that. And he's really into like the Empire.
That's
and, like,
the answer he would give actually if Joe Rogan asked him like, "Who's your favorite Star Wars character?" He's like, "I'm a Han Solo guy."
Yes, yeah, like that right there.
Hey, don't get me started. Don't get me started on who shot first.
I want Elon Musk and JD Vance to try to like outdo each other's like
relatability.
I am a nerd. Yeah, relatability.
Like I'm a masculine nerd. Though.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very important, masculine nerd.
Elon said on the interview he did with Rogan, this last one, he said that he's one of the top 5 Diablo 4 players in the world.
Which, by the way, is disturbing when you have 11 children and like.
If that is true, I think it's very telling that someone who is CEO of 10 companies and tweets all day also has enough time to put into that grind of a game. Because I put so much time into that game, and there's no way that I would have ever come close to that. So it's just like, I can't even, like, he must be literally on it all day.
Yeah.
So it's just like, what is Elon Musk doing? If that's true, that is not a brag. Dude,
so
you're
funny.
the CEO of 10 companies. Like, go to work, man. Like, do something.
Yeah, that's a bit of a catch-22, right? Because if you're not a dumb person, you're like, oh, you have a fucking problem. You are like severely ill.
Yeah.
And if you are a dumb person, which I think he's trying to like, I think that's who he's trying to appeal to. They're thinking, oh my God, just another thing that Elon Musk is dominating on.
Yeah, true.
Builds rockets, builds cars. Builds the best Diablo character in the known universe.
I knew a guy who impregnated a woman who was like 10 years older than him. I think he was like 25 and she was 35. And we went over to his house to go see the baby. And he was playing WoW. It was a newborn baby. And I was side-eyeing. I was like, this is probably not the time to be like doing that. You know what I mean? And if I'm side-eyeing a guy who's like, you know, has one child playing WoW, 11 children, and being like, that's
when
they're not living with him.
For each company, okay.
Yeah.
That is one more child you are allowed to neglect.
Oh, it's like a pass.
The government allows that.
Nice.
And you're not going to have anyone disagree with that.
Yeah.
Except some moms out there, but they're just being selfish because they just want to go do their own shit.
Yeah, they're just bitches that want to take a shower.
Lazy bitches.
Lazy bitches that want to take a shower.
Yeah.
Newsflash. Maybe you should have kept your legs shut.
You play with fire, you get burned, lady.
Yeah. No
Sorry.
Diablo for you, lady.
Yeah, but I truthfully, I think he's like if that is true that he has an account that is ranked whatever it is, like for sure, just paid somebody to get it.
Yeah,
there.
Ian thinks that he paid somebody.
Yeah.
Or he just lied.
Or he lied. Or he literally. I guess he could lie on the internet. That's true.
Yeah, I think that's why I brought it up, because I think that it is like he just wants
someone
to be as relatable as possible.
I think there was some sort of image to back it up in some way, like leaderboards.
There is
some
proof.
Shit.
There is proof.
There's a screenshot.
So does he go by Elon Musk 420 on or something?
Elon Musk 88 probably. I want to clarify, by the way. Yeah, that was a deep cut. I'm letting it fly. I want to clarify. I don't have a problem with age gap. Like her being 35 and him being 25 wasn't the weird thing, but him being younger than her and also acting like a child was what I was trying to get at.
Oh yeah.
Just to clarify.
Acting like a child, meaning that he was on a game when he had company over, which is, I think, just kind of antisocial.
On a game while you have company over with a newborn child that is definitely shitting and eating every 5 seconds.
Right.
Like, I just mean, you know.
And the labor to take care of that, it is expected to be divided amongst the parents.
You would hope. Especially after you push something out of your coochie and your organs got read.
Well, he didn't have to do that.
No, that's why he should be more available for at least the first
right, but
week.
the boys need me on the raid.
Oh, true. He was the healer.
Thing is, before that baby popped out, I had this raid planned, so it's just not. It's like the baby. Like I can't just.
That's true.
I can't just like drop everything. I have like responsibilities.
Okay, I'm looking at the Diablo 4 subreddit that talks about the Elon Musk thing.
Yeah. What's it saying?
Well, the first post I read was, "I don't understand why people are mad. If he's happy playing D4, let him be happy."
So true.
Pretty sure he got enough money to take a few days off and play the game if he wants to.
A few days off?
Yeah,
and then just casually became number 5 in the world. Yeah, that's how that works. Yeah. Like, to people who don't play Diablo, it is very grindy.
Yeah.
And you have to dedicate, like, probably thousands of hours of IRL time to, like, be able to do that. It's not necessarily just all skill. It's just amount of time sunk into the game. It
basically has to be your job for it to even be like viable to like do.
So my theory is that if he is telling the truth about that, he actually does not even do any work.
Yeah, literally no work.
Yeah.
At all.
There's no way that there's not enough time in the day for him to do any work for any of the companies that he owns.
It kind of reminds me of that guy who ended up running a sex cult. He was the
Athene?
Yeah, Athene. He was like playing League of Legends while on business calls, apparently. And he was only bronze.
Oh, no, I think that's a different one you're thinking of.
Oh,
only bronze? Shame.
Only bronze.
Yeah, you're thinking of, he's got a name, SBJ or some shit like that.
Yeah, the crypto guy with the curly hair.
Sam Bankman-Fried or something like that.
Oh, that's an evil name.
Yeah.
And he had the girl with the glasses, and they had a sex cult together.
I think you're combining things.
No, same. That's all one thing. Crypto scam. That
Sam Bankman-Fried. Okay, I'm going to type in space. Sex cult.
Yeah, he had like a sex cult.
The cults of Sam Bankman-Fried.
And he like.
They were freed?
He's facing jail time. His crime, leaking his weirdo orgy cult girlfriend's journal entries.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I stand extremely corrected.
But he.
I stand.
I stand with Friedman. What's his name?
Don't stand.
No, I don't. I'm just kidding. That's fucked up.
Sam Bankman-Fried.
Yeah, no, I don't. I hate that guy. Okay. Fuck that guy.
Sam Bankman was freed? No, he should be jailed.
No, he should be jailed for what he did. But apparently he was playing League of Legends when he was supposed to be like on business calls or something. And he was only bronze. So Elon did it better.
Yeah, I play Hearthstone while I'm on business calls, so
no, you don't.
Me.
You actually don't do that, which is.
But I could theoretically.
Yeah, I
can't do that
on Twitter.
I tried actually last, I think 2 weeks ago or something. I tried to play. It was just like an AFK fishing game while I was doing the podcast with you guys, and I actually just couldn't. I couldn't do the two at the same time.
Yeah, that's a little difficult.
It's hard.
When we're on a business call, sometimes I'll go on Twitter.
Yeah, but I think that's the equivalent, honestly, of pacing through your room while you're on a phone call.
I feel kind of bad because Ian's never on Twitter. Ian's always just sitting there with the business call on, and I'm just like every.
I'm fucking locked in. Like it's hard.
Really?
I'm constantly looking for an escape.
Yeah.
I look at your phone. I'm like, seriously, it's crazy.
That's so interesting because I find it hard to do the opposite. I can't not focus on what's going on because that's the only thing that is happening.
It's boring though. They're not charismatic and entertaining like us.
I guess. I mean, if it really was really boring, then I think I would focus on trying to get out of it.
Yeah.
And not getting out of it in my mind is in just trying to end it.
Yeah.
So I can actually just switch tasks.
Yeah.
Okay, before we go, because we're coming up at the end, I want to be fair and balanced, and I want to talk about the things. If Trump wins, what would have been Kamala's fuck-ups?
Yeah.
Kamala not going on Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Big fuck-up.
Apparently, for white voters, white males.
Kamala having Tim Walz as a running mate.
That's crazy.
That could never be the fuck-up.
Yeah, I don't think that's... The guy is nothing. He's just like a dude.
Yeah, he's just like a nice guy.
That's the problem, though. She needed someone who's gonna
Buttigieg would have been the fuck up.
Oh.
Because that guy, covered up a murder, a really fucked up murder.
Yeah, no one cares about that.
Did he really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he did. You should see it. It's insane. It was ruled a suicide. And this woman, if you look at the stab, how many times she was stabbed and where she was stabbed, it is insane.
Okay.
She killed herself by stabbing herself?
In the back of the head, apparently, a bunch of times.
All right, next up, Kamala and the Michigan protesters.
Oh, that one was really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I'm an Arab, so obviously.
And then, this kind of in the same vein, Kamala and the genocide.
Kamala and the genocide sounds like a fucked up children's book parody.
Yeah. But I think I would say that Trump's got more to lose, more fuck ups. I think in the bank and funny fuck ups as well.
Yeah, true. The "I'm speaking" line, though. I mean, it's interesting. If you talk to liberals, they think it's awesome. I think a lot of liberals really liked her. "I'm speaking."
Oh, you know what? I should have done before this is I really should have fucking. Done some more thorough research on what a lot of Republicans think Kamala's biggest
fuck-ups are.
I
think being a woman is number one.
I think a lot of them are still butthurt about the coup.
Yeah. Oh.
They call it the Democratic coup.
Correct.
That they forced Joe out. That they took the presidency from poor old Joe.
All right. Well, right now I will tell you guys the current poll, but you'll know it before.
Oh man, I'm so curious.
Right now it's 71 delegates to Harris and 101 for Trump.
Oh.
That's usually how it goes at this point in time. It looks like Pennsylvania, which is a big state, is leaning Harris currently.
Wow, that's huge. Pennsylvania is the one to look at.
Michigan's also leaning Harris, but still very early.
I would be surprised if she wins Michigan. I shouldn't say surprised, but I'm hesitant or I'm worried for her for Michigan.
That's how it goes.
I was supposed to go for a run.
All right.
Go run.
Oh, shaky dog. La vista.
Baby.